at the same time you're winning, you could be losing. You know, we were making a bunch of money for a bunch of clients, but at the same time, our business wasn't set up for scale and all that. So, you know, I was able to give some insight to help other entrepreneurs, you know, see the real problems and, you know, real successes that could come out of that. So, man, am I muted?
No, that was great.
Okay,
We're
good.
just ignoring you.
I know.
I've been on Polly's show, Steve. She's a good interviewer. It's fun.
Oh, she's great. I love her. Yeah, she made it fun. She made it so much fun.
Did she just hit up all the people with plaques on their wall, or what?
Kind of. Yeah. That is her show.
She was a shark at FHL, just walking around like, hey.
Yeah, she was.
Nice, love that.
All right, Scott, we're playing popcorn, right? Scott, tell us.
Just looking, I had a few closes last week. That's good. Money coming in, recurring revenue, giving my monthly revenue a raise. That's always good.
Isn't it great giving yourself a raise?
Yeah.
Woo! You can do that, man.
I got Mastermind group number 2 launching today. And I'm looking at launching Mastermind group number 3 in December, and working towards getting my whole system to scale beyond myself. Hopefully January, February, at least first quarter for sure. So those are good things.
Awesome, very cool. Oh, Chuck, he lives.
Now we can start the meeting.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome, Russell and Sandra. And
Sandra.
All right, let's do 2 more wins because our group has grown. So I want to get into the content today because it's quite exciting.
I'll pick Sandra if I get to pick.
Yes. There you go.
Sandra, what's your win?
Well, I attended a Toastmaster Global Summit on Saturday morning. I was 24 hours early, so I went again on Sunday morning instead. And this global summit that they put on is by a new club that's called Leadership Speak, and it's global. They've got 26 members. Now they have me. I joined a second Toastmaster club, and they've got 20, so I'm 27, and there's 10 countries involved. I think I are going global. And I suspect likely that I also was accepted into the International Society of Female Professionals. It's a kind of a lifetime membership thingy and they set you up 225,000 professional women to market within. So I'm thinking my sweet spot might very well become the English second language market, where they, so many people have their accent and they let it take them down instead of celebrating it up. And for me, accent is intrigue and mystery, but the listener has to understand what you're saying. You need the flow and flair. So it'll still be within communication, but I have a funny feeling there'll be a nice little niche in there. So I'm excited.
That's great. Very exciting. Cool. All right. Pick the last person to share a win. I want to hear from Dr. Jason. We haven't heard from him lately. He's in the witness protection program as usual. We like
there. Yeah.
There he is.
Minor win. I finally finished Expert Secrets. So I finally finished reading that. Yeah, I went and learned some new cool stuff to kind of broaden out. This weekend, I went to a seminar, learned some stuff that's related to chiropractic, but not exactly chiropractic. So it kind of broadens out what I do. Because one of the things that I've struggled with when producing the value ladder is what services go into that, besides just a simple adjustment, which is powerful in and of itself, but this is something I can offer on top of it. It's something I can offer instead of it, and it's something that can it's pretty cool. So it's something that was kind of a cool win. I'm I've been thinking about how to kind of work that into stuff. So
That's great.
everyone's-
Value ladder
everyone's
is a
doing-
game changer.
Huh?
So awesome things. Be inspired. Adam finished his webinar. Sandra was accepted into the International Federation of Awesome Women. So join like a professional thing. Honestly, sharing about the Toastmasters. I was in Toastmasters for about 6 months in 2017 or so, but then life got busy and my schedule changed. I couldn't make it. And honestly, it has never occurred to me that I could join virtually and I don't have to go anywhere. So like, duh, mind blown. Uh,
Well, some meetings are 2 hours. Our meeting at lunchtime on Monday or Thursdays is 1 hour of a little bit of chaos as we go hybrid. But
my point is that like when we share wins, when we get into a community, and we hear what other people are doing, it's like we see new possibilities that we can apply to our own life. So this is not just a time filler. It's actually an important thing because like, oh my gosh, like, man, I need to finish that book, right? Or, oh, I need to get into, I need to improve my public speaking skills, or I need to finish my webinar, or I need to grow a beard like Chuck. Like all these things are important things that we need to be inspired from other people. So awesome. And if you don't have a win, like, and you're like, this week sucked, because who's ever felt that way? Like, my week totally sucked. I'm not saying this was your last week, but we've all had that, right? Totally normal. Grab onto someone else's win, celebrate them, and then just like, focus on making it your own, right? For a long time, especially if you're in the online space, it's really easy to look at people like Adam and Steve and they have awards on their walls and you're like, I want an award on my wall. Why are things not going my way, or my income is not where it's at? It's so easy to compare to other things, like compare to other people, like celebrate other people's wins, and then eventually it'll be your own. My pastor at my church, he drives a freaking Maserati, like with like Italian red leather. It's like the guy's the boss. He's a multimillionaire. He's a pastor because he wants to be. Like he has all these other businesses. And I told him once, and I said, I celebrate your Maserati, right? And because one, I'm choosing not to be jealous, and two, I know that if I celebrate, I want you to celebrate me when I get mine. Not that I want a Maserati, but it's the principle that like we need to celebrate each other's wins, because we want people to be happy for us when things turn our way too, right? So anyway, that was kind of a side note. Few minutes, like what we had Bart Allen Miller last week on the Mastermind. What are some thoughts and takeaways? How did you feel about that call? Adam, I'll let you start off because you mentioned it earlier and reminded me.
Yeah, I mean, just I really needed it because I got a kick to the face like 2 days before. Long story short, got super betrayed by a former business partner, which has led me into entrepreneurship 3 months ago. And when he said, like, most of our problems are caused by the fact that we don't love ourselves, we don't believe in ourselves, we don't think we're enough. And so now I've been writing it in my intentions every day since then, and saying it in the mirror and just focusing on that positive energy.
That's good. Bart speaks to you. Mr. Cowboy, as Don calls him.
Right.
Don,
Yeah.
he loved you. What were your thoughts from last week? Thanks for sharing, Adam.
Oh, he was amazing. I did love it. I think sometimes I think that we're blindsided. I mean, I love me, I like me, but I think that sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you realize, maybe I didn't know that, or maybe it hits different. And so I was thinking about what Adam said. You're capable, but sometimes I think we get squeezed out of one space to get us where we need to be, and you start sitting back going, wait a minute, no. and that may not make sense, but I think this will make sense. I remember my pastor's wife, Prophet Cynthia in Florida, said, everything that you need to be successful is already within you. It's already within you. So several of you know my situation, and I just finally said, no, it's already within me. And I think too often we give other people power over us. We give other things power over us. We do things the way other people say. So I think listening to Cowboy and speak was really encouraging. And I think last thing was the fact when he said that the multiple businesses, now there's a way to structure that, but I think too often people try to put us in a box. And when we get put in a box, it's a little a little more challenging. So yeah, it was really, really good.
Awesome. I loved how you called him Cowboy. That was fun too.
That
Yes,
But when
Mr.
you
wanna-
don't
I
know
wanted to hear
somebody's
Don do
name
with a
and
German accent, Mr. Cowboy.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Don. Scott, you actually invested into Bart's group. What was it about last week that really motivated you to buy something?
Well, same sentiment as Adam and Don, that I just thought like he dropped so much value, and just want to be around that more. But I think it was really what kind of tipped me into like wanting to like actually joining his group was he mentioned something about he has the high-end mastermind, and then he mentioned a couple of groups, and he also mentioned like the buy your way in. He used that phrase.
Yep.
That he's used to get connected with certain people. So I was just checking out his groups that he mentioned. Also, it occurred to me that I'm doing a similar model. He's farther along than me, and I figure I might as well learn from him. He's got something working. Anyway, so I went to his funnel and went right through it. It's interesting. One thing that's interesting is his funnels aren't as good as yours, Caleb. There, I mean,
You're
it's
not supposed to
basic.
say that. This is promotion for Bart.
His funnel is basic as all can be, keeping it real. But it doesn't matter, right? I mean, I think maybe sometimes we overcomplicate things, and funnels work regardless of how pretty they are or how many bells and whistles they have. If you want the thing, if it's a compelling offer, it doesn't matter. So I started I attended his group Monday and Tuesday. This it conflicts with this group, and this group is priority, so I'm missing his group for this group. But it's every day. It's every morning for like 10 or 15 minutes, and it's just an accountability call. So it's pretty simple, but yeah, it's effective, and I'm enjoying it because it's basically I'm on the other side of the thing that I usually do. And it's helpful. Like I said, it's going to help me stay accountable to my goals, one of which being in Paul's course. I'm going to get on it, Paul. I've already got it started as we were speaking here.
So Paul, he is a master of accountability in his group. And what I just realized is Bart has actually built a multi-million-dollar enterprise on just keeping people accountable. That's the whole thing. So Paul, you're on the right track. Just keep harassing people in the right way, and the model works. It's super needed. And I just wanted to say my big takeaway from thank you for sharing, Scott. I acknowledge your share. My big takeaway from having Bart on the call last week is how important it is to identify people that you want to level up and just build relationship with them for no other end goal, that you just want to learn from them, and you want to serve them, and you want to invest in them. And if you watch Bart's Facebook, what are they called? Their stories, right? He talks about this a lot, just about the importance of relationship. And, he's always calling out all these other people and celebrating other people who are just operating at different levels. And you can tell he's just so focused on relationship. And I think that's why I'm just really, I was really drawn to him, and why I'm trying to invest into the relationship with him is because, like, the proof's in the pudding. Bart's obviously successful, and it's because he's very intentional about identifying people who are operating at either a different or a higher level or where he wants to be, and he invests in relationship with them. And then your network becomes your net worth, right? If you start to hang out with a group of people who are operating at a higher level, right? It's the concept of peer pressure. If you're hanging out with everyone who's smoking and drinking, you're going to smoke and drink. If you're hanging out with a bunch of millionaires who are crushing ads and webinars, you're going to like, oh my gosh, Adam just wrote his webinar. I need to write mine too. I don't want to not be like Adam, right? So the point is just like, if you want to level up, identify people that you want to level up to, invest in that relationship, right? And it can be as simple as that. Like, we don't need to overcomplicate this. So thank you, Bart.
That was beautifully put. That is the simplicity of it. And we forget that.
Yeah. And Bart talks about how he buys his way in. And what does he mean by that? He identifies a group of people that are operating at that next level. Maybe it's a mastermind or something. Like, he was one of the early adopters to Russell's mastermind, and he invested into it, right? I think at the time it started at like $25,000 a year, and now it's like up to Lord knows how much you pay to be part of that group. But it's full of a bunch of high achieving people, right?
Like,
and what's that, Steve?
It's like 150K, and then I think there's even a higher one now.
Yeah. And if you want the mastermind where you're in Russell's living room, that's probably like $1 million at this point. I don't know. But my point is, like, it's worth the investment. Bart has lived it, and you can see what's on the other side of that dedication. It's not an overnight thing. It's not an ad hack. It's not, whatever. Right. It's not about having the best funnel. It's just identifying people you want to level up to and being intentional to invest into relationship with them. Right. And if that means you got to buy your way in to get in the same circles, that's what you got to do. Right. So anyway.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm new to funnels, and I'm in your group. And so Scott, you said that his were not as elaborate, or, what Caleb does. So can you maybe share with me or others what the difference was? What is it that you feel that Caleb puts into it that one doesn't? Can you share more about that, please?
I think it was, I don't know if I can point to too many specifics, but I noticed that the fonts were very basic. It's nuanced stuff. Functionally, it's fine. There was no like upsells and downsells, and it was just like, very basic functionally, very basic looking. The aesthetics were not as good as what Caleb does. And
so just the crispness of it,
sure.
The crispness, the look and feel of it is more what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that speaks volumes, though. That speaks volumes. Is it possible that because of who he is already, that works, but maybe for others, something that lackluster might not work for others, and the crispness of what Caleb does adds that extra value?
I think my opinion is we overcomplicate things, and we get in our own head, and we think we have to have perfect before we get out there. And that's one of Caleb's preaches is minimum viable marketing. Just get it out there. I'm sure Bart looks at his funnel and thinks, gosh, it could be so much more sexy, but it's working. And I think it's just about getting out of your head and just getting something out there.
And I just finished the book Expert Funnels, and it seems to me that the bottom line is that the funnel strategy works, and it doesn't have to be a big fancy bells and whistles rich thing. And like the fact that you can, it fundamentally brings a lot of people to you, and then it narrows down the ones that want you, and then it gives you the ability to try and close those people. And obviously Bart's really good at closing. I mean, because it's really that attraction and really kind of sifting out those people to the ones that are really interested. But it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be something really super suave. It's like the funnel itself works, and then you can refine it over time. But I think that testifies to the power of the funnel, and the fact that Caleb has slicker funnels is even cooler.
I mean,
what's funny about that, Scott? I did when I first launched my coaching program, I intended on taking payment over the phone. So I was just a good blank Kajabi form that like title coaching program. And that was it. And then I had all the payment details, and I got off a sales call, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm going to invest. Great. And it was $5,000. So can you send it to me so I can fill it out later? I'm like, no, I was going to take your order over the phone. Okay, I'll send it to you. And so I just sent him this blank Adam Leatt coaching form, and 2 hours later, like bing, like Stripe ping bing. I was like, oh my gosh, that worked. It's crazy. So if the message is right, and your funnel can be basic. So it's kind of crazy.
Dude, speaking of that, so I hired, much to Caleb's chagrin, I hired a high ticket sales coach about a year ago. And his sales process that he taught me, his closing form was, okay, let me share my screen and take you to a Google Doc. A Google Doc with bullet points is his closing document for a 10K or up closing, right? And I'm like, you're freaking kidding me. So yeah, we overcomplicate stuff. If you can have it sexy like Caleb makes it, that's great. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a lot of mental, mindset
I commend
stuff.
you guys, because if I go to somebody's website or something and it looks rinky dinky, I'm thinking, if you don't have the consideration to make it look better, I'm so not giving you my money. Its presentation is freaking everything. And so I struggle with how you can, because I've seen things with people, there's misspellings, or it's like you guys say, it's not that great, and people buy. But then I also know that there are people that don't buy, because if you don't have the desire to put it out there and have it represent you well, I don't know. I'm struggling with it, guys. I really am.
Yeah, I agree with you, Don. There's a certain level that it has to be. But one thing I learned, as aesthetics is important, but then up to a certain point. But after that, you got to have the messaging. You got to have there's a whole bunch of other components that have to line up, and you have to fundamentally have all the components. And Michael agree with me. You have all the components in there, and so as long as they're they're good enough, the aesthetics are good enough. If you have all those other components and you did all the pre messaging and marketing done beforehand, by the time you get to that funnel, that page, as long as the aesthetics, like you're saying, are at a certain level, then you're just going to keep going. You're not even going to pay attention to how sexy it looks, because the messaging is going to be the sexy part, So,
all right. Sorry to interrupt your guys' conversation on my call, but I want to, this is a great tie-in to what I wanted to talk about content-wise today.
Okay, go.
Of the funnel I'm going to show you the simplest funnel you'll ever see. And in group, if you're a paying member, and if you're not a paying member, what are you doing at this point? It's $200 a month, and it will change your business. what we're going to do in group is we're actually going to build out this presentation. It's called In Video Conversions. I've been totally geeking out on them. And it's so simple. It's so brainless. I just got a little DM from Paul. He's like, I'm struggling to use your platform here. And okay, I get it. There's a lot you can do with funnels to make things complicated. But what we're going to do is you could call this the one-page funnel, right? And it is focused on the message. The reason Bart's funnel works is because the message is there, because you know that he's going to deliver results to you. You know who he is. And I don't know if he runs ads to it, but just by nature of who he is in his presence online, like you're kind of already sold by the time you hit that funnel page. So it's like really just a formality that you have to go through that checkout. Same thing with Adam's coaching page. Like he was already sold. Like I just need to figure out where to put my card in. Like the funnel is really secondary to the message. The funnel is secondary to the attractive character, right? Russell's speaking on stages, right? So when he invites people into his funnel that we're working on, hopefully they're already kind of sold, right? So the funnel, it does not need to be complicated, period, right? Now it's nice to have design graphics and beautiful little, wispy backgrounds and, cool font kits and stuff, but like not that important. Right? What's important is that they have a clear way to pull out their credit card or apply to work with you or to take the next step or whatever that sales process is, whatever your value ladder is, that it makes sense for them, right? It's a clear buyer's journey. A confused mind does not buy. So I want you to we're going to spend about 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to watch an ad, right? We're going to watch it together. And I want you to see how powerful this is. And in group, starting today and over this next month, we're going to actually build this out together. Okay. So if you have an existing webinar, if you have a VSL, if any of you are trying to sell anything online, I encourage you to jump into the workshops where I've actually broken down what you're about to see into an 8-step fill in the blank script where you can have a similar presentation. Okay. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm going to share your screen.
You're talking about the group that's an hour after this one, right?
Yeah. Who's got their coffee in their FunnelFlow mug today? And when you join FunnelFlow, I'm going to send you one of these. Chuck, I just ordered more. I've been meaning to, you're getting the next batch. That's not the FunnelFlow mug.
I still don't have mine.
Well, I ran out so quick, right? Demand was so high. And freaking
On back order.
It takes like 3 weeks to deliver these.
He just saw you too, Scott, so he could have hand delivered it.
I know.
Oh,
That should tell you something, Scott.
Yeah, I know. I
right.
feel
and
it.
I'm waiting for my Johnny Cash mug still.
Okay.
Hey, Caleb, what's this called again? The in video what?
All right. So this is called In Video Conversions. This is a guy. Well, actually, I'm going to let the ad speak for itself. All right. Let's pretend that you've clicked into a Facebook ad. Right. And here you are on this page. This is the funnel. Notice how there's no button. There's nothing else. There's no logo, nothing. Okay. We have copyright, all rights reserved, privacy policy, terms and conditions. Bare minimum, right? Can I hear you say bare minimum?
Bare
minimum.
Bare minimum.
Let's actually watch this. So get comfy. This is a few minutes long. Absolutely worth your time.
If you're using a webinar or video sales letter to sell online, you are getting scammed. Seriously, you're getting ripped off. Want to know by who? Yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
9 out of 10 people never see what you're selling. These are the basic steps to a webinar or video sales letter funnel. The average opt-in rate is 20%. This means if you send 100 clicks to this page, 20 people will opt in. This also means 80 out of 100 people will hit this brick wall and run right into the arms of your biggest competitors.
No! No! No!
The average show up or watch rate is 35%. This means out of 20 leads, 35% will watch the webinar or video sales letter. That's if the leads give you their real email address. The average purchase rate is 2%. This means out of 7 people watching, only 2% will buy. 7 people at 2% equals 0 sales. This also means you would need 250 visitors to generate 1 sale. 250 visitors at 20% opt-in means 50 people registered. 35% of the 50 is 17 people watching. Of the 17 people watching, 2% will purchase, which equals 1 buyer.
Is that it?
Is that it? Because the average cost per click is $2 per click, it would cost you $500 to generate one sale. At 250 clicks, at $2 per click equals $500. Is this profitable for you? This is when the insanity starts. Insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So you start to go through the list of guru quick fixes. Because you don't know what the real problem is, you change your opt-in page headline or bullet points. You then change your webinar or your video sales letter. You then change the price point of your offer, wasting more time and costing you more money. You start blaming everyone but yourself. Sales drop, so you fire your ad agency.
You're fired.
You start blaming your traffic sources and you switch from Meta/Facebook to YouTube, from YouTube to Instagram, from Instagram to TikTok, from TikTok to Google. To save face, you hire a coach or a mentor, again costing you more time and wasting more money. This list of time zapping, expensive quick fix solutions will improve your skills, but they are not the real reason your business is failing. You're failing because 9 out of 10 people never see what you're selling. It's time for you to stop scamming yourself. You have a choice. You can keep banging your head up against the wall, or you can watch this entire video and fix the problem. My name is Vince Reed, and since 2008, I've been helping entrepreneurs and business owners generate more leads and sales for their businesses. And when things start to go wrong, I too have tried to fix everything on this list and more. I do not regret investing in myself to develop my skills, but I do regret one thing: the amount of time I've wasted that I could never get back. Had I known what I'm about to show you, I would have earned 10 times my income and done it a heck of a lot faster. I know it may sound crazy, but since I started using what I'm about to show you, we've seen 200% more leads and 51 times faster sales. And by the end of this video, you will know how to do it too. How would your business change if you went from 100 leads a day to 300? That's a 200% increase. Or from one person seeing what you have to sell to 51 people. That's 51 times faster sales. Imagine reaching all of your personal and financial goals. Being able to hire more people, buy that house, car, or whatever you dreamed of when you started your business. Your moment to end the pain and frustration is right here, right now. Over the next few minutes, you're about to discover how to get 200% more leads and 51 times faster sales without more traffic or ads. How to stop wasting $180 out of every $200 that you invest into your business. A simple one-step solution that guarantees everyone sees what you're selling. And all I ask in return is that you provide me with your name and email to continue watching.
All right. Who's feeling depressed and reaching for their wallet right now? Huh? Anybody? Any thoughts?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm encouraged. If I get those numbers on my webinar, I'm crushing it. But
Yeah. No. But all right. So I'm gonna opt in and we're gonna see the rest of it. We're gonna see the pitch, but pretty powerful, right? What are your thoughts so far? Somebody, anybody?
Yeah, very, very relatable. Hit all the points, I mean, right on the money.
And I'm not saying so much about what he's selling. Like what he's selling is compelling because we're all marketers, but I'm saying like the process in which he's selling it, right? He didn't make us opt in. He's actually doing what he's preaching in the video. So if you zoom out, you can see, oh my gosh, he's doing this to me right now, right? He's already hooked me. Any thoughts? Am I the only one geeking out of this?
I'm very much self-identifying as his perfect avatar because he's being so specific about, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this. I'm like, yep. So if I do put my email in, he knows that I'm the perfect prospect for him.
Right. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna opt in. We'll keep watching. It's just a few more minutes, and then he'll land this plane.
Real quick, Caleb. I tried to take notes. So one thing he said, maybe anybody else got it. Over the next few minutes, you're about to hear he at the very end, he said, I'm going to show you this, this, and this. What was that phrase? Over the next few minutes, you're about to learn something like that. Did anybody else catch that?
He just it's so I'm actually building out this presentation for one of my clients. So on this training, you'll learn, and then it's the bullet points that basically you're going to learn how to solve the problems he's just identified in the first part of the presentation. And then it's a phrase, something like, let's get started. All I ask in return is put your email in down below, or put your email in.
Yeah, Caleb, would you be able to play that video and capture the verbiage with the, the Google thing that does the automatic typing?
Yes, but just to encourage you, like, I just want you guys to, here's the actual landing page. You guys can check it out later or save it and kind of watch it on your own time. I just want to encourage you that in group, we're actually dissecting this, because I'm a marketer. I get marketed to a lot. This marketing worked on me. I ended up showing up to one of his live webinars after I opted in. Like, I clicked into the ad just like anything else. I bought his stuff, right? And so I invested in his training, where he actually breaks down this 8-point webinar. And it's basically Russell's perfect webinar, like what you're learning, Jason. It's just in a slightly different format. It's all the same principles, but he lays it out kind of in a linear fashion and asks for the email in the middle, as opposed to Russell, where he opts in beforehand. So we're going to break that down. We're going to workshop it out, and we'll actually build this together. So just kind of watch it and just kind of let it work on you for a minute. And just know that we're going to actually go through this together.
The other thing you can do is watch this replay on YouTube, and you can go through the same thing. Sandra.
Yes. Yeah. I was just going to say, I can't see what it is on the YouTube. I can't see what you're looking.
Chuck, can you read the name on that we're opting in with?
I do. It's Hugh and then Janus. Go at funnelflow.io.
Thank you, Mr. Janus.
Yeah.
You, Janus.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you just experienced the power of entrepreneur, business owner, online video. eBooth in-video conversion technology. This technology allows you to capture leads and sell products right from the video. When this video is complete and you want to use this technology, sign up and pricing details have been sent to your inbox. If you entered the wrong data, this is definitely no place for tire kickers. Refresh and enter your correct data to ensure you get details to sign up for the software. With that being said, let's get started. Allow me to rewind for a second so you fully understand what just happened. Notice we did not send you to a brick wall page. You were sent to the video you're watching right now, which is hosted on eBooth. You subscribed to the video with an in-video lead campaign. The video continued to play without you ever leaving the page. As 99% of advertisers use outdated 3-step funnels, you will stand out in the crowd and have your customers saying, how'd you just turn your webinar or VSL into an opt-in page, allowing you to skip the brick wall page and avoid losing 80 out of 100 people. With that being said, I'm going to show you how to set up an in-video conversion campaign in 2 minutes or less. Step number 1, you want to use your existing video, your webinar or your VSL, and you want to upload.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there. You can actually opt into it and let him spam you. I think we'll appreciate it. But I got to go check my inbox for details to address to Hugh Janus. But so what you saw right there, it's called in-video conversions. It takes the power of the webinar and it removes all the barriers that prevent people from getting into the webinar. So a webinar is one of your most effective sales techniques. Think of it as the perfect sales presentation that you've put together, right? You've painfully scripted it out to address every potential question, every potential objection, to like completely present what you have to offer. Like, that's the idea of the perfect webinar. It's the perfect presentation, because as you get feedback from the people you present it to, they're like, this quite didn't make sense. You adjust it, you tweak it, you do it again. Okay, so it's not like a one-time thing. Who's ever had like a crappy sales call where you're like, I blew that? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. So the webinar, it allows you to take that failure, if you will, add an adjustment, put it back into the webinar, and you do it again. Okay. It takes that principle. So it's super powerful, right? It's always working for you, right? You're sleeping, people are watching your presentation. And they're opting into it, you're building your lead list. It takes that, but it removes all the barriers. The problem with a traditional webinar, if you're running ads to it, it's, as you see, it's expensive, right? And honestly, after working with clients for a while now, it's been difficult for me to scale their funnels online using ads because of these problems, right? Because most of the people I've been working with up to this point have been more the startup entrepreneur. They're like, they bring their $300 to the ad temple, and they're like, "Will you take my offering, Mr. Zuckerberg? Will you take my offering, please?" And he's like, he casts the money aside. He's like, "No, I need more," right? So that's not a reflection on the people starting out, but ads are really expensive, right? And it takes a while to get them to work. And unless you have a high ticket offer on the back end, which a lot of people don't, or it's in development, or they don't have confidence to sell it, it's really hard to be successful online with ads. So I love this because of the people that I'm serving. You guys are involved with that. Like, ad budget is a thing, right? We all want to be able to sell things profitably via ads, right? It's, I think we realize the power of it, but we struggle to implement it. So the numbers of in-video conversions are great. It worked on me. And a secondary benefit is it's super simple, right? We don't have to focus a lot of time on beautiful page layouts and, complicated automation. It's like headline. Actually, if we kind of analyze this page a little bit, all right, so we're calling out who we're speaking to. So this is our attention line, basically marketers using webinars or VSL funnels. So for me, this would be business consultants who have a book, right? Adam, who's your avatar? Who are you speaking to?
Entrepreneurs in the e-learning space.
Okay. Could you sub niche it down a little bit?
I guess entrepreneurs looking to scale.
You just got broader.
It did. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a certain space in the e-learning space, like health coaches with a course who want to scale?
Sure, we'll go with that. That'll work.
No, can't use my example.
That is true.
E-learning coaches trying to grow a team.
I don't know what that means, but we'll go with it. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I don't get good ones until like 50 in. You got
Okay. All right. We're just getting warmed up. All right. So like what would be a headline? So new data confirms 9 out of 10 people never see what you're selling. Okay. So this is actually a hook. It's not even a headline. So a headline kind of describes what you're going to talk about. What is a curiosity-based hook like that? What is the pain of the e-learning coach who wants to scale?
that they don't know how to build the support systems they need to run their business for them. They're stuck in the muck, the day-to-day running of the business.
Okay.
So how can we turn that into a hook?
Any wordsmiths? Russell.
Below the waterline.
Mr. Jones. You're muted.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you and Adam to workshop a little bit. You're a speaker, you're Russell Jones Speaks. All right. So you are good at crafting words. So Adam, brain vomit for 2 minutes, and Russell, help him put together a hook that kind of teases the problem and makes me want to click play.
Okay. I heard what you said before. I didn't write it down, Adam, but I have no idea what you actually do. Sorry.
So I'm operations is what I teach. Business operations, how to actually build a team around an entrepreneur so they get out of the day-to-day running the business and delegate responsibilities.
Okay. And what were you trying to? What were the words you used before to?
So getting out of the muck, getting out of the day-to-day of the business, to grow a team to allow you to scale.
What about from job to business? Because we usually as entrepreneurs buy ourselves a job, but when we have a business, we're not there. So that type of thing, because that rhetoric is common enough now. Do you have a job? You want to make it your business? Are you buying your job? You want to make it your business? Something like that.
Or you were saying that you're in operations and how to build a team. So I'm thinking, and then we had the other call a few weeks ago on statistical data. So 2020 data confirms, 2020 consensus confirms 10 out of 20, 9 out of 10 business or whoever you're working with are struggling to find their team members, find their right team member, something like that. So use what he has right here where they're using statistical data. So what would you say, Adam, would be the statistical data that would resonate with your clients of what they can't do, that they're struggling with?
That would be,
if you got to pull it out of your
buying
butt
their
right now, go ahead.
their
But
job.
just what could you think of?
Maybe Adam, maybe something like nine out of 10 entrepreneurs own a job and not own a real business. Or
yeah, I think the job and the business distinction comes in there somewhere.
Right.
Like, does your business work when you don't?
Or
Right. Or
yeah.
does your, does your business own you or you own your business?
That's a good one too.
I like that.
Are you struggling to build in a new reset statistics show?
We're listening in on Russell and Adam's conversation, so let's let them
I'd
hash
say something like 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs feel like their business is ruining, nice play on words with running, their lives. That might be a little too cute.
Yeah. Are you running your business? No, or being ruined by it?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Or yeah.
Are you running?
Well, give me 24 hours because I'm really good at sleeping on stuff. So I'll get back to you in 24 hours.
we have 4 minutes, so I don't know if that'll
Oh,
work.
okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're pressure cooking here. Now, what about, all right, so this headline is actually confirming, it's like, it's speaking to a suspicion I had. Like, and I felt this too. Like, I'm paying for ads. I don't even think people are like reading this, or they're not, they're downloading a PDF. I don't even think anyone's reading it. Like, why am I doing all this marketing crap? Like, it's not doing anything for me. I know it. Facebook's just stealing my money, right? So it's a suspicion I have. Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, like saying, I told you so. I knew it, right? So what's a suspicion that they have that's like, if you call it out, they're like, I knew it, right?
9 out of 10 business owners think running a team should be easier than it actually is. Or no, I did it the opposite way.
What about new data confirms 9 out of 10? Well, I don't know. Okay, sorry, I'm interrupting your guys' conversation. Here I am doing the same thing.
Trying to help.
Yeah.
Like struggle with management, struggle with Because that's one of those words like people hear and they're like, oh shit, I got to manage things now.
Mhm.
Why'd I get into this?
I guess I'm a little confused on your avatar. Maybe this would
That's
help us.
that's what I was gonna say. We need to dial back to the avatar and actually go into their head and say, what were they saying? What were you saying before the success? So what was going on in your head? The biggest conversation you had in your mind of what's keeping you back from obtaining your goal?
The biggest thing that was holding me back was feeling like, who the hell am I to run this team and actually manage a 7-figure company?
Hmm.
So there's the
can't do
first
this.
thing. You've got your 7-figure company.
Mm-hmm.
That's your avatar you're looking at.
Yeah. 7-figure coaches, 7-figure.
So the 7-figure tied in with Amanda Holmes saying that now you don't have a life. So now it comes back to your stress level, your heart attack.
Yeah.
Your health.
I'm too.
That's all true. I was stressed as crazy back then.
Yeah, what do you lose sleep over?
And you
Mhm.
could even say like, this was me, and I literally pulled out all my hair.
Yes, there you go. Have you lost your hair? This was the cost of doing my business.
You're all
I get it.
honorary Liette children. They all make fun of me too. This is
Then put
great.
a picture of Paul in there with
Yeah.
full head.
Yep. Yeah.
I grew this
Say
back.
that. 9 out of 10 confirms. Yep. They pull
That's
their hair
kind of
out.
like, I've
Right.
got one nerve and you're on. I got one nerve left and you're on it. I've got one follicle left.
Right. Yeah, 9 out of 10 pull out their hair working on the business, right? And not,
Yeah.
or I should say in the business, not on the business.
Are we getting a little closer, Adam?
Yeah.
I think that's coming closer to the avatar. Working in the business instead of on the business, because that's the next step, isn't it? The next, I mean, when we start the business, we have to work in it because we're it. But
Right.
once we step that level up, go to the next level, now we have to work on the business.
Mm.
Yeah. It has to be a real pain point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So are you plateaued? Are you plateaued, stuck in your business?
What's the
level.
one thing out of all the things that you teach? What is the one thing? Can you list one of them? Can you share with us one of them?
So the top 3 is how to build systems and processes, how to establish a stable and effective communication cadence,
Mhm.
and then how to actually think strategically and then break it down into actionable steps.
Perfect. All right.
Nice.
And if I felt lost running a team, that would all be very applicable to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're out of time. Adam, I just dropped that headline into Google Doc into the chat there. That is yours, the little gift for being vulnerable. Russell, sleep on it. Give us some,
I'll wake up,
enhance it a
yeah.
little bit, beautify it, do your
I'll
thing.
grow some hair on it.
Throw some hair on it. All right. Yeah, so this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking the perfect webinar and the principles of it. So if you have a webinar, if you have a presentation, if you have a fragment of one, and you want to use this really powerful principle, and I've basically figured out how to do these in-video conversions without the special software. So it's actually a 2-step funnel. And instead of the video popping, instead of the little conversion popping up, we just pop the little opt-in box right as the video ends, and then you opt into it, and then it pops to the second page where you click play and it continues the presentation. So not quite as slick, but it will save you $100 to $300 per month, and it still has the same net effect, right? So encourage you to jump in to the group. We're going to be working on this today because I am running what is the word? I'm running carpool for the kids. So We are starting our workshop call at 9 a.m. Pacific or noon Eastern. We're going to be working on this, and I'm actually going to give you the funnel templates to do this for yourself. So if you're not a member, shoot me a message. Let's get you signed up so we can actually help you implement this. It's gonna be
This isn't for people. This isn't for the people you had write a book in the last couple of weeks, right? This is something else.
no, this is something else. This is
Okay,
a great,
that's fine.
yeah.
But the book people are on Friday.
Book people are on Friday. Yeah, my book crew on
I'm gonna
Friday.
figure it out. I got it.
Hello?
Yeah, we got a few things going on. Think of it as like two programs. One, lead gen, and the second one is if you have an existing book and you need a book funnel, right? So I'm focusing on book funnels. I'm going to build Bart a book funnel. But this is for everybody, right? Whether you have a book or not, and you have something to sell, this is something that you can use very simply, very low tech. You just got to write 2 headlines and script the presentation. And I've basically laid it out on a Canva. So I'm making it fill in the blanks, coloring with crayons, simple, because that's where I'm at. Like, I don't need complex in my life because I'm a future 7-figure coach pulling his hair out, right? There's enough things going on, right? Anyway, we have time for a takeaway. Who wants to share a takeaway from today?
Adam, you just make my heart sing. You did. The fact that you were vulnerable and that you sold a $5,000, or at least one that you shared, program, and then you are here and we're helping you with your avatar, you made my freaking heart sing. So if you can do it, then I know I can do it. Even if my avatar is cockeyed, upside down, cross-eyed, bald head, you just made my day. You really made my day. And that's why these calls are so, so important. I mean, I absolutely love every one of you because you're changing my life, whether you know it or not. So thank you, Adam. Thank you for just being so vulnerable and just making it happen. Yeah.
Agreed.
Now you made my day, Don Marie. Thank you.
Come on.
Yep.
All right. We got one more. Time for one more. Who wants to be vulnerable and share? We're out of time. Paul, what's your takeaway? I'm going to pick on you.
Picking on me. Well, I'm feeling like I see how all these things need to fit together. I see how what I do brings to the fore some of the things that make everything a lot more streamlined and simple. Very fun to see the aspects of that video that you showed, because I get how to be able to do that without an editor, which just kind of it heartens me. It makes it I don't have to hire anybody.
Which is great.
And for that matter, I mean, I'm looking at all you folks and I'm hoping that you can reach out to me when you feel encouraged to not have to hire a video editor for any of your stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I offer that to you. And it's it all just goes with this flow for me of the things that feel like they're showing up on my plate or at my doorstep right now, and it's kind of it's fun and liberating.
Awesome.
Cool.
And Caleb, if I could add something really quick. I know earlier you mentioned about not having a superstar on as a guest. That's one aspect that you service all well with in your audience. But another valuable aspect you have here is that you have the great our regular people I mean, everyone in here is a superstar, you know, already.
You're right. That was
ready.
That was some mental trash. I was just throwing that out there. And thank you, Steve, for not letting me thank you for not letting me get away with it. And side note, everyone on this call, I'm getting some DMs. If Cashflow does not allow you to be part of the paid member today, still jump in. Right? It is my I want to meet you where you're at. So don't let finances like, oh, I can't afford it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. No, just jump in and pay me when you can. Okay. Right.
Nice.
Because I know I want you to be successful, and that's me investing in you. And I know when you're successful, you're going to share the wealth. Right. I'm not a nonprofit, but I'm happy. I'm here to serve. Right. So like, just if you can't afford to jump in right now and you're like, should I I want you there. So just send me a message. I'll send you the details because I want us all to benefit from this. Right. Yeah, we're out of time. I appreciate you all. Yeah, we are way out of time. We are starting at 9 a.m. If we've had a time change here in the States, Sandra, look at a time conversion. We're starting at 9 a.m. Pacific for the workshop call. Okay. Sorry, we're changing the schedule a little bit. My wife's out of town and
but I think that's just 30 minutes then, right? Just 30 minutes later.
It's an hour and a half from now.
Later from the normal time, correct?
Yeah.
Is that just this week or every week?
That's just this week. Right.
Okay.
All right. I gotta run. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk
Thanks.
soon. Okay?
Where's the link gonna be? Just messenger stuff?
It's very simply, it's membersonly.funnelflow.io. And I will message it in the Slack, but just write that down, membersonly.funnelflow.io. It's the same Zoom, it's a forwarding link. It's the same Zoom link every time. Okay.
Cool.
So Adam, if you can make it, we'd love to have you today. All right. All right. Appreciate you all.